morning, Bellows Falls and Rockingham. It's Mike Smith and Marty Gallagher. We're here with the feed. It's August 24th, 2022.
Time for school.
Yeah, time for school. Next week, school starts. Today we're here with Julie Cermola. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Oh, man. It's tough. From Parks Place, and she's going to talk with us a little bit in a little bit. But first, Marty has local events.
Yeah, well, first I want to give a shout out to Mike because as you might notice, we have a little different finish on our desk here at Fat TV. He put some casters on it. He and Sue repainted it, and I think you added lights. Are the lights on?
Yeah, there's lights, but I don't think they're on yet.
So thank you for that. Thank you for upgrading our feed
well,
experience.
One of the feedback I got from a friend was, you really need to do something about that desk. It looks like it's been through a war or something. So.
Well, it kind of has been.
Yeah.
Kind of has been. So for local events, at the BF Opera House this week is the movie Nope. And I can't tell you.
Good though.
It's about like an alien invasion.
Yeah,
or something?
it's another one of the Keenan Peele movies. He's done several horror movies, and he's really quite good at it. I guess they're critically acclaimed. So
well, that's good. August 26th through the 30th. So sounds interesting. I've seen the preview, but I couldn't quite figure out. So it's horror.
Yeah, it is strange.
A little horror-ish. Okay. And the classic movie happening tonight is Top Gun the original, and it has some extra special meaning. I don't know how many folks. Well, I think a lot of folks in the area know Tom Call. Tom was very proactive in doing a lot of things in the community, and one of his big things was always sponsoring Classic Movie Night. And so tonight he is the sponsor of Top Gun, and everyone is hoping that the theater can be full tonight in honor of Tom. So Larry and Penny Kerr have actually stepped up, and the first 50 people that come to the theater tonight will get in for free. And then just before the movie starts, they're going to actually be passing some popcorn buckets around and collecting money for to be donated to Cedar Crest Home for Children, which is another place that Tom was very active with and wanted to support. So it would be great if everyone in the community can fill the Opera House tonight and donate a little bit in honor of Tom Call. Speaking of overflowing and filling the Opera House, I didn't even know I had that segue in there. The Our Place Overflow the Opera House event is happening on September 22nd, and it's going to be a tiny bit different this year. While they still definitely will take food donations and they appreciate food donations, they're actually asking if people have the ability, if they could actually donate cash and actually buy a seat in the Opera House. You can go on to the Bellows Falls Opera House website. You can find this event. It's under the events page. You can click on it and you can donate $25 and you then have paid for that seat. And what happens when they get money donations is they actually are able to leverage the funding better. They can actually go out and buy what people need. Sometimes with food drives, they get a lot of one thing, like maybe a lot of peanut butter, or a lot of macaroni, or a lot of this, but not the cheese and the milk to make macaroni and cheese, or not the bread to make peanut butter sandwiches. So they're able to then leverage the money and do a lot more good with it. I'm hoping we can get someone from Our Place in the next few weeks or so to explain that a little bit better. And that's what I have for local events.
Yeah, well, it's a big time for local events. It's at the end of the So I don't know if people caught the Cornish Fair last weekend. We're going to have a clip from that here at the end of the show. But this weekend is also the Bonneville Fair down by Stratton Mountain. Okay. And so it's like one of those classic old Vermont fairs with the quilting bees and, horse poles and, pickles and I love pickles, you know that.
I know,
but anyway, so and then also this weekend there's a Cajun festival down in Dummerston where they're going to have Cajun food and music. And for people who have been in the familiar with the local music scene for a long time. Oh
Lord, who do we have this week?
It's the Lonesome Brothers.
Oh,
yeah, they played back in the. I don't know when they, like in the 80s and 70s, and so they've been around for like 40 years, and they're playing Friday night down in Northern Mass. Check out their Facebook page if you like. Nice. If you like the Lonesome Brothers.
Mike usually finds bands with names like Tuba Skinny.
Yeah, I love it. We're going to see Tuba Skinny in Royalton.
What was the other one you went over to New York to see? That was a name.
Rucci Tucci and the Ragtime. Keys. Yeah. They were really good.
He usually finds the best names for the
Yes,
bands that he
and
goes
you
to
saw
see.
we had the Detrani brothers.
Oh, yes,
Brattleboro.
yes,
They were
for the Pickle
we
Festival.
Did for the Pickle Festival. We didn't play that clip yet. That'll be up, and we're gonna have to do a best of festival clip.
Best
here.
of Festival. There we go.
Yeah, all
There we
right.
go.
But anyway, we're here to talk to Julie and hear about Parks Place and what's happening there. So, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, my name is Julie Cermola. I've been working at Parks Place since October of 2018, so I've been there for a few years now. I'm currently the office manager and just kind of oversee all of the, budgeting and the client-based
Sure,
stuff. Yeah.
And for people who don't know, describe what Parks Place is, because it's sort of, it's a different sort of model, I think.
Yeah, so we've been around for a long time, and it still amazes me that people don't necessarily know that we're there. So Parks Place is kind of a support for whatever anybody in the community needs. If you come in and you need help filling out a food stamp application, you can come in and I can help you with that, or Megan can help you with that. We just kind of, I like to describe it as we're a good stepping stone to help people get to where they need to get the help.
Right. It's sort of a one-stop shop for connecting
Yes.
to the community.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And it's right next to Central School.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to describe because as Parks Place, you don't provide the services per se. You connect
We
people
house
to
the
you house the
services.
services, and that's what I think people get confused about. You were saying
Yeah.
beforehand that sometimes people will call you and say, "Can I speak to your therapist on staff?" And you're like, "Well."
But I have all of these therapists
Yes.
that can come and see you here. We have a building here that, you can meet with whoever you need to in our space if it's more convenient for you location-wise. And we kind of try and help any way that we can.
Yeah.
But I think yeah, you connect people.
You really connect people.
Yeah.
And how many agencies are actually housed at Parks Place?
We have, we have 4 full-time agencies there. So they just have their own full-time office. We have Springfield Turning Point that has a space. We do have a youth mental health counselor, Bob Pelosi. He's got his own office. Greater Falls Connections also. They've been there way longer than I have there. And then Springfield Supported Housing actually has
Oh,
a
really?
full-time
I didn't
office
realize
there.
that.
That's relatively new. I haven't really seen many of their employees come in yet, but that will eventually be a
Oh, that's a good thing.
staple for Parks Place.
Yeah.
And then what are some of your, do you have other providers that come in on a weekly level? Or?
Yep. So we'll see Economic Services come in. We see sometimes Vermont Department of Labor. We have HCRS come in and meet with some of their clients. We do have other kind of more self-identified therapists that will come in and use the spaces. Yeah, it's really anybody that needs it. Youth Services can come in and use it. You just kind of, I get a phone call. It's like, hey, I need to meet with somebody here. And then I'm like, okay, hold on. And we just kind of pull it on up. A big source, though, is we supply the room for supervised visits through DCF or
Oh,
Youth
okay.
Seals.
Yeah, that's
So-
hugely important.
That's a nice little meeting space upstairs. We have this big common living room area, so it's a nice comfier space instead of meeting in an office to visit with your child. And so that's been nice having that back.
And you have a little kitchen up there too. So
Yes.
then I'm assuming that if, they wanted to eat, it's a visit and it's, so yeah, that's
It's kind
that's
of more
great.
homey
yeah.
upstairs and then more office downstairs. So it's a good little split.
That's what-
And then there's a garage, what used to be a garage, but now has been refurbished into.
A carriage house is
The
what it's
carriage
called.
house,
Yep,
yeah.
and that is actually where Springfield Turning Point and Bob Pelosi have their offices.
Nice. And you also have a diaper bank. So tell
Yes.
us a little bit about that.
The diaper bank is, we just have, a wide range of diaper sizes and wipes sometimes, depending on what we can get. It's basically, if anybody has any diapers that they want to donate, we will take them, and then anybody can come in at any time that we're open and get whatever size diapers they need. There's no judgment, there's no protocol, anything. You just walk in and say, hey, Julie, I need size 4 diapers. Okay. And I just go and give that to them.
Nice.
It's kind of, judgment-free, anything. It doesn't matter if you just picked them up on Tuesday and you need them again on Wednesday. Come in. We would rather have people not struggle getting diapers when we have them to offer.
Right. Because there was a diaper shortage just recently, right?
Yes, and a formula shortage. And we tried to be able to help with that also, but at least being able to alleviate some stress on the diapers, we were able to help out with that.
How do you get the diapers? Do people donate them?
Yep, donations, yeah.
So if
we do a diaper drive usually at least once a year where we just kind of take as many donations as we can, and then
yeah.
And then you also have a virtual meeting area and computer lab, and that must be, I imagine that gets a lot of use.
Yeah, we have 3 public computers. They are fully equipped with a webcam and headphones with a microphone if you need it to be more private. One of them is more secluded, and it's in one of our office spaces. So if you need complete privacy, then you can shut the door and you've got your own space. When we first launched that, it was so nice. We were able to help somebody apply for a job, and then they did their interview on the computer, and then they got the job. Yeah. So it was just really cool to be able to help with that.
To remove, sounds like a lot of what you do is you remove barriers for people.
Yes, we try to, for sure.
And I think barriers that some of us take for granted that it's a problem. How do I apply for this job and do an interview because I don't have a computer that I can do that with, and it becomes a catch-22 situation.
Yeah, and then you kind of feel stuck. Yeah. So we like to try to help unstick people.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
How is it for you guys during the pandemic?
So it was rough. We closed our doors. The building was shut down for a few months, but we were still operating. So we changed the voicemails on our phone to say, leave a message and you'll get a call back. And either myself or Megan would call back, figure out what this person would need. Our faxing was still operating. So if you needed to fax important paperwork so you could continue to get your food stamps, then we were able to do that. If you still needed diapers throughout the quarantine, we still had that. So somebody would call, leave a message. I'd listen to them all, give them a call back, schedule a time that worked for everybody, and I would walk over to Parks Place and get what diapers they needed and put them outside, or meet them at the front door and grab the paper and then fax it, make copies, and then give it back to them. So we still ran. It was different. It was very weird having the doors be locked, but we still were there for support.
Nice. And now are you pretty much back to normal?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. For a while there, we had a little transition where we had these doorbell speakers, kind of, because you couldn't really have anybody in the building yet. So it would be like they'd ring the bell, and then you talk to them, and you do the same thing. It's just I was in the building instead of having to make an appointment for them to come. And now, the locks, they're unlocked, everything's open. People can come in and get the help that they're used to getting there without having to make any type of phone call beforehand. We're seeing a lot of our providers back, which is nice. Like I said, the visits are happening again, and that's always nice to hear the little, pitter-patter of it upstairs because my office is below it. So
And have you got the meeting? I know that you were a source for AA meetings and NA meetings and families of recovery meetings. Are those all back in person now?
Yep. As far as I know, they are. They're more housed in the back house at the carriage house because Turning Point has an office and the little conference room upstairs. So they have the meetings up there. If it's nice out, I think they still do them outside. But yeah, so those I believe are still running in person, back in action.
So tell us about the event that's happening this weekend. It's the back to school event. It's the second annual.
Our second annual. We're very excited about it. Last year it was so much fun, so we were so excited to do it again. It's free for all, everything. It starts at 1, ends at 3. There's going to be, about a dozen or so of local and state providers that families probably have met at Parks Place before. So what happens is you kind of start off with me and Megan. We give you this little passport, what we call it, and then you get a stamp at every station. And it's all free. You just play your game, you get a stamp, you go around, you check everything out, you talk to all the different organizations that are there, see what they have for information for all of their families, what programs they've got, support, all of that. And then at the end, you hand in the passport to us, and we draw out of it. We have this big bucket, we'll draw out of it, and we've got, some back to school backpacks for that you can win for a prize. And then I think we have lunch boxes that you're able to win. Food is provided there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, everything is free. There should be hot dogs, chips, water, all of it.
Lemonade.
Yeah. So yes, lemonade.
From the Rotary Club will be doing lemonade. And we're still trying to decide on our game that we want to do.
Oh.
So, is it at the playground area? Or
It's actually right in front of Parks Place. So it'll be on School Street Extension. So kind of right in front of the front entrance of Parks Place and the main entrance of the central school. It's like that whole street.
That whole street.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
Close it all down. We've got the tables everywhere, and it's kind of like a community block party, just to get kids excited to come back to school, because most of them are the younger ones that are going to central school.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of get familiar with the area, get familiar with what Parks Place does. Maybe what Wyndham and Windsor Housing Trust does. All of the organizations that are going to be there.
And I think like last year, Greater Falls Connections was there.
Yeah, they should be there again this year.
Friends for Change, were they there last year?
I think kind of grouped in with Greater Falls Connections. Yep.
I think the library was there.
Yes, and Sam will be there again this year. She's going to bring her brand new Bibliobike.
Bibliobike,
yes.
That's pretty cool.
That's been getting some mileage. I just saw it down at Flatiron.
It's really cool.
Yeah. It is very cool. It is very cool. We are very, very lucky that we have someone like Sam that goes after that type of stuff. And then goes to the community. And I think, who else was there last year? Oh, and then are you doing the same thing with the fire hydrant?
We are hoping to, yes.
Okay.
I don't know if it has been 100% confirmed.
Okay.
That would be more of a Megan thing, but I believe we should be opening the fire hydrant again.
Oh. Yes.
That was a lot of fun.
Which means that the Rotary needs to be way
away. It was a nice little ending to it.
Yeah.
And get all the kids excited. Everybody's all soaking wet. And it's a lot of fun. And it should be better weather this year than it was last year.
Yeah, last year it was kind of threatening rain, if I remember
correctly. It was a little gloomy
and
a little unsure if it would rain on us. So we put up all the easy ups and all of that, and it didn't rain. That was great. But it's supposed to be sunny.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really nice this weekend. So
it was a nice event. It was nice that families can kind of get connected to a lot of people in one-stop shopping, because I'm sure that there's always somebody that doesn't know what you have there, doesn't know exactly what you do. And there maybe they just moved to town, maybe they just have kids that are coming to school age, so they don't know, the services. So I think it's a nice event that you guys came up with to
good event to kind of give the kids the fun that they want to have, and then the information that the adults should have. So it's a good little in-between type.
So if people were interested, you have a lot of things that you could probably use funding or donations for, like the diaper bank or just, the things that you do in general. What's the best way for them to connect with you for donating?
I would say probably give us a call. The phone number is 802-463-9927. Yep, right there. Or, sending an email. You can either send it to that email right there, director@parksplacevermont.com, or you can send it to me, which is Julie@parksplacevermont.com, JULIE, and then we can kind of go from there.
So is there anything coming up on the horizon? Are there more programs in the works? Like, I know at Christmas, you guys, you usually do a project for kids and the kids in need. Yeah,
so last year we did a holiday toy drive, and we're kind of in the process of figuring out all the kinks of that and trying to connect with everybody.
Yeah, we actually are trying to work together this year. One of the ideas, because Rotary did a toy drive and clothing drive and for the kids last year, and I know there's at least 2 other entities in town that want to help with something. So trying to make it happen this year as a connected group versus everybody does their own thing. That way we make sure that all families are getting everything they need, and maybe this year maybe just a little bit more.
Because now it'll be like a combined force type of deal.
And trying to do it earlier so we're not shopping last minute. I know you guys had a problem with that last year.
We shopped, I think, the week before we had people come and pick them up. And it worked out, it was fine, but also we wanted to have them pick up their toys not too far ahead of Christmas. So it just kind of was a lot to just get all the toys, make sure they're all sorted where they need to go, and they have everybody's names on them. And it worked out great. It was awesome. But, you know, it would be nice if we can kind of figure that out.
I mean, and Lord knows that the stores will probably have Christmas stuff out by the end of next month.
Yeah,
So that's
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing is, and when the
definitely,
problem is if you wait till late December, the pickings are kind of slim when you're trying to find
Yes.
specific things that kids are looking for. So that's what we're hoping for this year, and we probably will be doing an appeal to the community at some point for helps with those donations or either monetary donations or toy donations.
Yes.
And then also I'm hoping that we can have some type of big like wrapping event too.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like a fun. We'll
Yeah.
see. Talk about the patch meetings that you have there.
So, real quickly, the patch team meetings that we have is just kind of anybody can join type of deal. You know, you could be from the community, you could be from economic services, you could be from anywhere and join in. And it's been virtual for, I think, like the last year or so. But we all just kind of get together, introduce who you are, where you work, and then kind of talk about upcoming programs that maybe would benefit other organizations hearing and kind of push it onto their clientele and all of that. So it's a nice big giant group of people being able to connect and share all their supports.
Awesome.
So do those happen regularly? How do people find out about them?
It's generally the third Thursday of every month at 9 a.m. We take a break during the summer months. I think we start again in September. And if anybody in the community or anybody in any type of organization wants to join, all they have to do is just kind of send me an email, and I'll add them to our big Gmail
mailing
list. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So there's lots of ways to help with Parks Place, and there's lots of ways to support Parks Place. And I think we are getting low enough that we need to go to.
Oh,
We have a clip.
we do have a clip. We have a clip from the Cornish Fair of a guy named Taylor Rodriguez who did a tribute to Elvis, and who doesn't like a tribute
Who
to
doesn't
Elvis?
like a tribute to
Anyway,
Elvis?
so we'll go to
Seriously.
that clip, and until then, we'll see you.
And thanks, Julie. Thanks for joining us
Julie.
Thank you guys for
today.
having me. Yeah.
Yes. Hope you come on again, and good to see you later, community. We're close.
How we doing out there? Oh, come on now. How we doing out there? Make some noise, everybody. Yeah. Well, get to the bed, wash your face and hands. Well, get to the bed, wash your face and hands. Well, get to the kitchen and grab those pots and pans. I believe you
local news, politics, business, sports, arts, music. Mike and Mike.